What's up, everybody? Welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. I'm out of gas, so we got to go to the gas station and get some fuel first thing. But basically, we are headed to the courts for more drilling. Pretty much, this is becoming every video now. It's just me going to the courts drilling. I don't know if that's super boring for you guys or if it's exciting. Hopefully, it's exciting or at least interesting, because it is just what I do. So I'm just recording what I do for my pickleball journey, as they say. I am on a quest to go from 3.5 to 5.0 in pickleball in 2025. So pretty big task, honestly, to make that big of a jump. Don't even know if it's possible. I do not have a background in tennis. You know, they always say if you have a background in tennis, you can come into pickleball and basically clean up and become a pro or a 5.0 or whatever relatively quickly if you were already good at tennis. Makes total sense, but anyway, I do not have that in my repertoire. I've just got some ping pong, badminton, and racquetball experience in the past, and not even a whole lot of any of all that, just some. So anyway, going to the course to drill, because in order to make 5.0, I'm going to have to drill a ton. I'm going to have to take a ton of notes and improve really, really quickly, because we're already a quarter of the way through 2025. It's the tail end of March already, so that's 25% of 2025 is already over for us. So more or less have 9 months left to make my goal. So got to drill a whole bunch, so that's why my videos are lately all about drilling. I'm also trying to work in some footage from my ladder league and rec games at the indoor facility that we play at. It's called the Pickleball Hub. Super awesome spot that we discovered last year, got invited to, and then immediately me and all my friends joined it because it was just awesome, and we played all winter long there. So there'll be some of that footage here and there on the channel. Also really excited today to be testing our brand new prototype paddles for my pickleball brand called Strata Pickleball. We're in production on a paddle already, but we're also exploring other new paddle technologies and so forth. And so two of our first 3 prototypes made it in a couple of days ago. And I got to play on them already last night, and they played amazing. So today, going back, test on them some more by myself, just me and the ball machine, and get further data on how they play. But they are a foam core paddle, similar in concept to the Carbon True Foam or the Selkirk 008, in that they are foam core. So foam does seem to be the future for pickleball. So once I realized that a few months ago, I was like, well, we have absolutely got to get out on top of that, ahead of that, and participate in that, and figure out for ourselves if foam is a viable core material for our paddle brand, Strata. And so far, things are looking really good there. I'm not 100% sure that foam has to replace honeycomb cores. I'm not 100% sure it has to, but I'm pretty sure it's going to. So we definitely want to be on the forefront of testing and prototyping and trying stuff out. So anyway, I'll be hitting on the new prototype Strata foam core paddle today. I have 2 of them. One's a long handle, quote unquote long handle, and then the other one is an extra long handle. I personally hate, bit my tongue. I personally hate short handle paddles, so none of our prototypes will ever be a short handle, nothing under 5 inches. For sure, nothing under 5 inches, probably nothing under like 5 1/4. And our extra long handle that we're testing today is almost 6 inches long. I really, really like that one too. I like to use 2 hands. I like to do the 2-hand backhand. I like to do the 2-hand backhand dink and drive. 2-hand resets are pretty much a standard move in pickleball as well. So I think being able to fit 2 hands on a paddle is basically critical in 2025. At this point, the way pickleball has evolved, it's not really an option to be not using 2 hands. So might as well have paddles designed for that, it seems to me. And so I'll be playing on the long handle version today. But last night we played some rec games, had a bunch of fun with our friends, and I had both of the prototype paddles out, and we traded them around, and I let everybody play on them. And everybody liked them a lot, it sounded like, and everybody, of course, needs to play on them more than just one time to really formulate an opinion, so it's still early. But during my games where I played on them, I noticed a distinct improvement in my drop shots, my dinks, and my resets. So all my work up at the line was significantly improved versus our other paddle. And our other paddle's good. And this paddle, in that regard, seems to be even better. So super stoked to see an improvement on some aspect of my game directly because of the paddle. So of course I need to validate that with more testing. Could have been a fluke, kind of doubt it, but maybe. So that's why it's important that I go back and hit more balls. So I got to fill up the old gas tank, so I think I'm going to cut this section of the video off here, and the next clip will be probably me hitting some balls. Alright guys, we're going to try to hit some forehand drives here. I've been working on these a lot lately, trying to figure out how to do them. A couple things I've figured out that have been helping me a lot. Number one, obviously keep your eye on the ball all the way into the paddle. Number two, be patient. Let that ball come all the way to you. Don't get impatient, try to rush up to it. And the reason for that is I find it best to hit the ball on the fall, you know, after the bounce and on the fall. So be patient, let it come to you so you give it time to fall. Then, in order to generate maximum power, you want to make sure your hips are rotating forward on the hit. But you also want to make sure that your elbow on impact, your elbow needs to be roughly in line with your hip, not out in front, not behind. And in order to really burn that in to my memory, I pin my elbow to my hip on impact. And then your elbow will come forward after impact, and that's okay. But I think elbow back before impact is a problem. Having trouble hitting many good drives right at the moment, but that's the nature of drilling and working these things out. You build that consistency over hundreds and hundreds of hits. Thousands even. So let me know what you see happening here with my hits. What I need to improve, because I'm a beginner. There we go, that's decent. That's decent, but low. Good ball. Good ball. Good ball. Stepping through and rotating your hips forward with your elbow at the same time generates truly effortless power. Once I started drilling that way with the elbow to the hip, all shoulder fatigue went away. Turns out the drive is really not a shoulder movement at all. It's a hip and core twist step. All your power comes from your core. So if your shoulder hurts or gets tired after a couple hundred drives, you might be swinging with too much shoulder and not enough hip. One thing I need to work on is my left arm. It basically is doing nothing but a little bit of counterbalancing. And I have learned, read, and watched that the left arm can be used to help twist the core like that to generate even more power. So that's something I'm working on. Working on trying to integrate the left arm for even more twist. But yeah, let me know what you saw there. Give me some tips and tricks.